Inside the Circle, Season 8, Episode 13.1, coming at ya. Sean, the whiteboard is here and it is ready to go, but before we get there...
They're chomping at the bit.
They are chomping at the bit, but they're here, and listen up. If you're watching this episode, there's quite a bit going on in this episode. Number one, we have D3, D2, D1 sectionals. There's... I can't do math this fast. There's 6 sectionals we got to do. We also have the public service announcement that we've got to give concerning the whiteboard predictions that I need at least 150 views on this to release the videos, the whiteboard predictions. We also have the John Brown...
We'll get 150 like in 10 minutes.
John Brown Wrestler of the Year award being awarded today after much deliberation. What do we have? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. We also have some special mentions that we want to talk about concerning the upcoming Derby District, hence the outfits we are wearing, and we'll get to that later. Hey! Sean, let's start it.
Let's just get in there.
Let's get in there.
All right. Division 3, Ridgedale, go.
Yes, Division 3, Ridgedale.
People
Sean,
talked about it on social media?
listen, people were talking about this.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, there are a couple things. Number one, I have a special tie for this particular.
Like tie?
No,
okay.
good call. I'd do a bow tie anyway.
Okay.
A special tie-in for this particular sectional. One of my former teammates, state qualifier for the Groveport Madison High School, has 2 kids, and they are wrestling. They wrestled in this particular sectional, and I wanted to follow along. Not to mention, I love me some Coach Kramer. So, makes it easy to follow along.
Great guy. Really is a good guy.
Phenomenal. So, with that in mind, Ridgedale, Dale up in Marion, Division 3
What
sectional.
did I say?
Dale, I'm sure you did. In
I
my brain,
was doing your bit.
wires crossed. I got you. Marion Pleasant. Have we not talked about them all year long?
I think we have. Every year we've ever brought up Division 3 in Central Ohio, we brought them up.
Yes. They walk away your champs with 226 points. They had 4 champs, absolute studs. Second place, a team that sort of, man, I want to say they came out of nowhere, but they were pretty.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They've been pretty solid for a while
Yes.
now.
Amanda Clear Creek finishes with 180 points. They also had a champ. And then a team with 2 champs, the counterpart, the dynamic duo to Pleasant was Northmore.
Okay.
So you had Pleasant, Amanda Clear Creek, Northmore.
Tell me about some of these champs these guys have.
Oh, yeah, I did mention Pleasant had 4 champs. They had Ali. I knew you wanted that one. Ali. They also had Chase. They had CJ Smith. And then they had a heavyweight 182 in Braden, I do believe is his last name.
Yeah.
I thought there was an S in there. Brazen.
Brazen, that's it.
I think that's it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Now, they had 4 champs, which is why they were the champs. Amanda Clear Creek had 1.
Yeah, good for them.
Yes, most certainly. Heron walks away your champ. And then, Sean, I'm going to give you a chance to...
Becker.
That is absolutely correct. 170 pounds, Northmore had a champ in Becker, but they also had Ramos at 132.
Oh, great job.
I mean, that they have been... Those... It really has, in my mind, been Pleasant and Northmore. To see Amanda Clear Creek come in and say, hey, it's not a 2-horse race here, boys. That was great to see. So that was Division 3. Sean, let's go over to Division 2. I actually went out on Friday night to Licking Valley
like
High
a
School.
pre-sectional
Oh,
thing
man,
there.
it primed me good, man.
Yeah.
And it did. And it was awesome. I got to see Jeremy Tate in his 2 plaques that he had.
Oh, okay.
2-time undefeated champ.
Awesome.
He was right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, a little bit younger than me.
Yes.
So he was like
A year or
90s,
two,
mid-
yeah.
Mid-90s there.
I knew of him. The lore had surrounded. I mean, he was good, better than good. He was great.
For as great wrestler he is, I think he's a better person. Have you ever talked to him? He's
Yes.
just a good guy who just gets it.
Man.
Me and you talk about that a lot when we say this guy gets it.
Yes.
Like he just gets it, like how to act,
Yeah.
how to coach, just how to be a community good person.
And he is a community good
Yes,
person.
he
Graduated from Lincoln Valley. He's back
Yes.
there coaching, so that's great. And he actually responded to a text message. I said, hey, good luck today, coach. Really wish you the best. I'll see you tonight. Hey, thanks a lot. It's all about winning.
Awesome.
So, great stuff. Division 2, Sean. Licking Valley.
Licking Valley won.
Yes, they did. They had 215 points. Do you know who got second place?
No.
You do not realize who got second place? We've talked about them. They have one dream. They were ready. They're one
God, I
team
feel
with
like
one
they're gonna
dream.
want their shirt back now.
They might, yes, London. London walks away second place, followed by River Valley, and I want to throw in a fourth team. Normally we do top three.
Sure, what the heck?
I am going to throw in a fourth team. It's Jonathan Alder, and I want to talk about the champ and the
Jonathan
runner.
Alder?
Jonathan Alder.
That's a great job for them. You know,
Fantastic.
that team a couple years ago was like kind of on the downturn, and they've really started to pick it up a lot.
Very much so. They had like 5 kids like 3 years ago.
Yes.
On that team. So the team that's there, they're really a bunch of pioneers paving the way.
Yeah, but that's funny, Mark. I talk about it all the time. It's not how far you've went; it's how far you've come. When we develop,
Yes.
when we talk about success.
Yes.
So,
Yes, most certainly. Well,
let's go back.
Yes.
Let's
Licking
go back.
Valley.
Licking Valley, couple champs. Who are their champs?
Licking Valley, they had Elijah Stevens, absolute hammer at 126, and then they had Dylan Dotson at 160. I'm telling you, man, and they had those 2 champs, but they have a field of other guys that are, man, they're good. Muzikowski, Roadback. I mean, they've
Good
got.
to see him back on the map.
Yes,
Muzikowski.
yes,
Great
most
to see
certainly.
him back on the map.
London walks away with 2 champs, Davis. And I think 132, maybe 120, and then Burns up at 220 or 195.
Good to see him back.
Yes.
I think it's 220.
Yes, most certainly. Sean, River Valley.
Daniels.
Daniels, yes, most certainly. But they also had another champ in Graham and Miracle.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's great, Sean. That's Division 2.
There were some other champs.
There were some other champs. Good point.
Hartley, we had the Petrella boys.
Yes.
106 from East.
Oh, Salam. Yes, I actually got to talk to his coach, man. I talked to his coach. Man, I forget where I talked to him, and we were talking about the sectional tournament, and he really liked his boys' chances to win, and then which sets him up for the district tournament, which I'm really excited about.
Awesome.
Yes,
Well,
most certainly.
We've crossed the first one, right? First hurdle.
Boom, check mark.
Right off the-
Hey, yes, I want to
Good.
mention Bexley's champ too.
Bexley
Brennan.
had a champ?
They did, Brennan. And man, you talk about
He had a good tournament.
Hey, man, I think I'm going to step above good turn. He really looked good. Well, I'll say this. From my eyes, I hadn't seen too much of him. The kid is good, and, I mean, obviously he's getting great coaching from Coach Bragg and the company. I mean,
They do a great job over
Coach
there.
Bragg is a really great guy. I was kidding. He's landing on thick. Sean, there's another heavier weight.
To bring up the caboose.
Potts, I thought you were going to ask me about pans,
No,
but you didn't.
Now.
Um,
Cole Potts did win.
He
at
did.
heavyweight, so,
Yes.
Great show. You know, one thing new this year is that sectional used to feed to the Claymont district, and this year they're going down to Wilmington.
Really?
I think that's big for Central Ohio Division II wrestling. I think they're going to have more success down there. I just think it's an easier district, and I think we might get more boys out this year than we've had in the last couple of years.
Does that mean in 2 weeks on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be sitting and watching quite a few Central Ohio boys?
It could happen.
Well, I won't be there Friday or Sunday, but I tell you what, I can show up on Saturday and root the heck out of some kids.
That's terrible.
Man, I got stuff I got to do, man.
Okay.
I got the gutter and drain people coming out. Did I tell you about professional gutter and drain? They're going to hook me. They're not hooking me
I feel
up.
like there's a line here somewhere.
No, but seriously, they're coming out. But, Sean,
They're
that's...
not hooking you up. They're just hooking your gutters up.
Yes, well, the standalone facility of a studio needs the water put away, and they're going to do that for me.
Awesome. So that was Division 2.
Division 2, on to Division 1. This is where we're going to have to spend a lot of more time because they have four sectionals.
Okay.
And I want to break them down. Sean, I'll go first.
Okay, sure.
And I guess I should have offered that up.
No.
But no, okay.
I've worked with you long enough.
Classic. Well, let's go this route. Let's go Newark.
Okay.
Division 1 sectional. Sean, really, and we said this 3 weeks ago at the Sunday selection, it really was a 2-horse race here, and the fight was for third. And
Was it really?
yeah, I guess. But no, not really, I guess. But Dublin Kaufman walks away your champs. They are a team, I think, our first episode, our second episode, our fourth episode, fifth, sixth, seventh episode, you mentioned how not only are they the team of this year, they're the team of the future for the next 5 and 6 years.
Yes.
You've mentioned
they're
that.
string some things together.
You've probably mentioned that more times than you've probably made a joke about me. That's how much you've mentioned it. That's a lot of jokes.
I don't know if
That's
that
true.
record's
That's
ever gonna
true.
get broke.
Dublin Kaufman sends 13 to the district tournament on the strength of 8 champs. They had 308.5 points. I don't know what the record was.
It's not. 335, 325.
I want to change Liberty 2015?
Yes.
15?
No, it's like 17.
17,
16.
yeah.
17, 16. I was actually going to look that up, but
yeah.
time got in the way. I've been so tired and we have so much going on right now. Like, I'll look that up some other
No
time.
problem. Let's talk about those 8 champs. We had Corey Crawford. We had Ishmael Ayub. We had James Bauman. We had Gonzo, Alvarez, Copley, Shoemate, and Ucker.
That's a
Those
lot.
are, oh man, I'm surprised I pulled those out.
That's
To be
almost
honest
two
with you.
handfuls.
That is almost 2 handfuls, but not to be outdone with
So,
13.
yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
Well, you talked about Lancaster getting second there.
Yes.
But they had some champs.
They sure did. They had the Egg and Boys squared. Come at me, bro.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Very good. It's, you know, they had some, obviously they had some other, they had 13 qualifiers to
I
the
think
district
that's big
tournament.
for them, Mark. When we're talking about this,
Huge.
we're talking about, let's say, was there a team that's coming out of this a certain sectional as a winner? Is there a team coming out of a sectional as a certain loser?
Yeah.
I think Lancaster, even though they didn't win the sectional, they have to be absolutely thrilled getting 13 people out because that puts them in position to maybe grab one of those trophies next week at Derby. You know, you need those kick-in points.
Yes,
You need
that's
those
where I was going.
I need a
Cool.
consolation win out of somebody. I need maybe 2 consolation
Yes.
wins. You send 13 people there, man. You never know what can happen. So I got to think they're feeling good heading into Derby next week with the 13 people.
I got to think the same thing. And when we get to the whiteboard predictions, that is really going to play a role in this. Like when we look at who's winning that first match to, you know, or winning even that quarterfinal match, that's going to be a lot of points right there. So, Sean, that was Lancaster finishing. Oh, go ahead.
Did you know that a pin in the championship round is worth the same amount as a pin in the consolation
Yes,
round?
I did know that.
Okay.
In high school wrestling, it is.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I'm like it's the way in college.
I think it is, but anyway.
Okay, well,
the
you only get half
advancement are
point.
different.
Yes,
The
exactly.
advancements are different.
Let's talk Grove City. 164 points. They got third on the strength of a champ, Willard, heavyweight.
Oh, good
Man,
job
he's
for him.
doing great. Yes. He's had a couple good wins along the way. I saw he beat Meek from Pick Central in the semis, so that was great.
You know, we talk about winners. I think Grove City did a great job at Newark, too. They got some unexpected kids punching their ticket to go to
Yeah.
Derby. 6-pounder, steps in with the injury, has a great deal. Some of their
Next
other kids.
man up.
Burns is a first-year kid at 120. First-year
Yeah.
kid. Got some
Boom.
judo background, but he's a district
That
qualifier
helps.
as well. I think that staff this year did a great job developing their kids, and I expect them to project going
Well, the
forward.
dogs are off and running, Coach.
There you go. But tell us
Who's
about
that
some
piece?
other maybe notable champs there.
I
that,
can, and I
okay.
will. I'll tell you one right off the bat. I was going through and skimming the results. Zulo, Pick Central. Great to see him back on the mat.
Great to see him back.
Man, he was he a state alternate his freshman year?
No.
Place or district?
No.
Or maybe his sophomore year?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe. But my whole point was he came in with some high-level
No, you can't have
accolades.
expectations.
Yep.
We're not getting into whiteboard prediction stuff here.
Yeah,
right
oh,
now.
my bad.
I think
Sorry.
I'm just trying
Sorry.
to,
I didn't want to
steal
jump
my-
out front.
Steal my clip notes here, but
Let's talk.
it was good to see him back on the mat.
Yes.
It's awesome to see him be a sectional champion in his last year because he has had some, bumps and bruises and just sometimes things don't work out for you. But it's good to see him at least going the right direction in his senior year. So congratulations to him
Yes.
on being a sectional champion.
No medical red shirt. Guaranteed. No medical red shirt. No 6-year. Gotcha. Champs. 2 of them. Westerville South.
Okay.
Spurred on by their coach climbing the rope. Clearly, that's what did it.
Climb the rope.
Oh, did he ever? It was sweet, dude. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to be like I think he's 46, 47, maybe he's 50. I don't know. He looks great, but he climbed a rope. I don't know if I can say I can
Really?
do that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty legit.
Look. No.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Who were those
Fabella,
two?
I am. Fabella and Morton. And, we talked about this at the, was it all, no, it
All
was
North.
State duels.
He looked good in both.
Copley and Morton,
No.
State duels.
No.
What were they doing up there in Marysville?
I don't know if they wrestled. You said Copley and Morton. It would be Morton and Broski.
That's what I said.
You said Copley.
I did.
Dude, I don't
I'm
know
an
if
idiot.
Hey, seriously.
S-Pin,
We're doing
1945.
We're doing open interviews this spring for co-host.
It's getting late. Well, here's what I got. It is Morton taking on Broski in the finals there, and
you gotta
Morton
stick
won.
to the script, man. You're not a guy who's good coming off the script. But
That is
anyways,
true.
Fabella won at 13.
Yes.
Looked great. We had a good match at 160 there. Morton and Broski was really close going the third period. There was a stoppage there for potentially dangerous. I think might have changed the momentum of that match. But again, as Mark said, that was a great match at the state duels. It was a great match yesterday.
Yes.
Might see it a third time at Derby.
Oh, that'll be whiteboard prediction. We're not talking that right now. Yeah.
Now you're
hey,
being
yeah. Hey, real quick. You mentioned 160-pound match. I got 2 other matches I'm going to mention. 132, AU versus Reed. Another barn burner.
2 high-level kids right there.
Fantastic.
32, 2 high-level kids.
Oh, and just because we're on doing another episode, I've got to mention 220 pounds. Riley Ucker versus Jake Nelson. Jake Nelson comes in. I mean, the kid has 1 loss, maybe. I mean, he was noted. He was quoted in the paper as, "I want to go 6 minutes. It'd be nice to grind." And I thought it was a great point. But he's been so dominant all year long. And here we go. Here's a match that I think it was 3-1 final. So I'm looking forward, not to get ahead of myself. I'm looking forward to a match like that at the district tournament.
You know what's crazy? I really think that was a great win for Ucker. He's coming in leaking a little bit of oil.
Yes.
And I talked to people in the Ucker camp. You know they've wrestled probably close to 15 times during youth and middle school, and Ucker's never beat him.
Really?
I think that's
That's huge.
That's huge, man.
Man.
Shirley coming in with a lot of momentum.
You talk about the mental game. Well, you never talk about the mental game. I'm talking about the mental game of wrestling, and it's a real deal. And to be hitting and then win a match like that, to get over that, that can open up some things.
We got to get off this whiteboard stuff, man. We're giving too much stuff out to these guys.
I think
we have to make them
are.
wait 24. We just have to have them just sitting there just cringing,
Biting
waiting
at the
for
bit.
it.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what, Sean. That's Newark. Let me turn it over to you for Upper Arlington.
Okay, we're going to go west from there. Let's go to the Upper Arlington
West.
sectional. I think it's the second to last year that'll be held in that building. I'm definitely going next year. I will be there 100% for the last sectional.
Beautiful
in
high
the
school
old
coming up.
school.
Yes.
Because there's so much history. I actually wrestled at the regionals there years ago and seen so many great, like the late Kevin Randleman and just so many phenomenal people go through that gym.
You're telling me Kevin Randleman used to come down in the district tournament?
What's the craziest match? We'll talk about that.
I can't wait.
Stuff getting thrown from the stands. Police had to come in. It was truly one of the craziest atmosphere ever. But
Boston or Randleman?
Randleman.
Okay, cool.
Crazy
It
man.
sounds like Boston incident. That sounds like
running overtime there. But anyways, let's go UA. UA did come out on top. They had 239 points on the back of 3 champions. Shanklin, Bowers, and Sohomi Yan.
Nice.
Old Tangent Orange got second. Do you know how many champions they had?
2.
None.
Oh.
And I think that says a couple things. When you get
Team
second
effort.
as a team effort, man, that's what we're talking about. You got to have team effort, and that's great heading into Derby team effort. So I think it's a great job for them to get second with no champions. It does show the overall depth of the team. They did have some finalists, but I think that's a great job for them.
There you go. They did have finalists because I got to think.
Like 32 was a finalist.
Yeah.
Blanchkey was a finalist.
Yeah.
170. I mean, again, we talk about team effort. Man, you talk about like.
You got 14 guys that are all scoring points for you, even though they don't get to the
It's not about winning there. It's about developing the culture of bringing a team together to have great success. So good job all around. Dublin, Scioto got third with 161 points with 4 champs. So they're behind them. 4 champs to
Jen Harris doing the scoring.
Jen Harris scoring.
Clearly.
But great job from Dublin, Scioto. They had 4 champions. They had Lee, Segura, Pulliam, and Harden.
Knew it.
And then Matt Howard. Matt Howard did a great job of getting third, so they'll be sending 5 to Derby the next week. Plus, speaking of Derby, they had a champion in their own right, and they were just behind Dublin Scioto with 158 points with Ryan, who did himself a world of good winning that.
Easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Well, Henry Darby and that staff there again had a great showing. Weaver was a finalist. Had a finalist another weight. Barnes there, maybe 95, 220, but a great showing from.
Yeah. Great showing for them. I was going to say, speaking of great showing, Westland.
Yeah, 2 champs, baby.
2 champs. Yes, Palmer and Hurley walk away as champs.
I like those guys going forward.
Dude. I remember looking at those brackets for the district tournament.
Great showing for Westland all the way around, too. Not only them, but they had the Jude boys wrestling well. They had some good stuff going on there. So that was a great showing in Upper Arlington. Some good wrestling. From there, we're going to move on to Watkins, where you were at, Mark.
I was there, Sean. I was there. I was in that gym.
Oh, trust me. I knew you were there. People were telling me that they definitely knew you were there in that gym.
Well, they had me doing the awards, and I'm not sure that was a good idea. That was not a good idea.
You were there doing the awards?
They asked me. They did ask me to do the awards.
For some reason, I thought you were there filming for Flo.
Nope. Wasn't. Where was I going to go with this? Let's just go with the champs. There's so much I want to say there.
You were doing the awards. We were out at Westfield.
Eddie Jane was there.
Jane.
Yes, that's it. Eddie Jane was there. So he teaches in the district, and he was going to do, but he had like 2 or 3 other jobs that he was doing. So he was like, look, man, I'm starting to spread myself thin. I just need someone to do the awards. I was like, wow, I don't know where you're going to find a charismatic, energetic guy that can do the awards that you need. And he was like,
think he probably got that joke.
No, he did not get that joke.
He was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to find one of those. I said, I'll tell you what, Eddie, I'll do you a favor. If you come over to my house to watch the finals for the NCAA, I'll do that for you. He goes, deal. That's how I get my friends. I barter and trade. But Sean, let's talk about Westerville North.
Sure got me on the show.
Yeah, baby. Westerville North walks away your champs with 237.5 points, followed by Watkins Memorial with 196 points, followed by Hilliard Bradley with 147 points. And as you mentioned, Hilliard Darby with a close call in 4th place at the last sectional. Olentangy Berlin, moving up from D2 to D1, come in 4th place by 2 points with 145.
2 points?
Yes.
Whoa.
And you know what's crazy is you look at a tournament and you got 14 weight classes, you got 14 guys in it. Where could we have picked up that half point or that point here and there. You just start thinking about this stuff, and it's like, to try to get that third place. That'd been good for the Bears. I mean, seriously, claw up, claw down, bear down. Bears. It's crazy.
Bears, huh?
Yeah, Bears.
Bears.
There's a lot going on there. But Sean, let's talk about Westerville North.
Let's talk about Westerville North.
Can you guess the 4 champs? Oh, go ahead.
Well, these guys were talking all year. You know how we talked about Coach Grant and culture? Those guys were telling me, like, hey, we got a really big team. We weren't always putting our stars together. At the same time, we've kind of spread them out for what we think they need. And I'm starting to buy into that. White came out of absolutely nowhere. He kind of wrestled a big one night. Got hurt, wasn't in the lineup. Albertini is another guy.
Boom.
Doesn't have matches. These guys been high on, said, hey, we got a plan with them. We know what we're doing. You got to trust us. And after coming out of the sectional, with the champions they had and the score they're looking, I'm starting to buy in. These guys might truly have a plan that could possibly pull something off. Who knows?
Interestingly enough, with the late addition of Albertini and the injury to White, you had to have 12 matches total to be seedable. Both guys were undefeated.
And unseeded.
And unseedable.
And just
basically.
Field.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, basically.
But tell me about the 4 champs they had.
I will. You had Gooding, you had White, you had Connor Uden, hello.
Okay.
Albertini. Oh, yeah. No kidding. I know. But those are your 4 champs for Westerville North. And interestingly enough, Watkins Memorial had 1 champ in 4.
Oh, kind of like switch around.
Yeah, exactly. Hilliard Bradley walks away with, you would think, 2 champs, but they had 1 champ in Schmidt.
Hey, this goes to show, once you put your foot on the line, you never know how it's going to end up.
You never can tell. And if you're not dialed in, man, it's very difficult. Very difficult. But the good news is, you're coming around this week. You had a week to shake it off and be ready to go.
You know, I was telling someone yesterday that you can't be a state champion today.
That's true.
You can't even be a district champion today. The only thing you can be is a district qualifier. So don't worry about how you finish. Just be glad that we're still alive and we still have a chance, because we're all going into Derby with the same record, 0-0. We still have to get beat twice. So stay positive. Keep going here.
Sean, that is a great point. Now, those were the 4 champs. Watkins Memorial had a champ, Schmidt. And then Olentangy Berlin walks away with not 1, not 2, but 3 champs. Yes.
Oh, good job for
Butcher
them.
at 106, Foston at 152, and Hill at 160.
Who was the second one?
Foston.
Okay.
Yes.
Who?
Foston.
Okay.
Yes, you heard it here first. He was a champ. Sean, but those weren't the only champs that walked away. Those teams did have multiple champs. Home team had a champ.
About some other champs
I would
there.
love to. Ethan Hand walks away at 285.
Big win there. Huge win.
Yes. Agreed. I agree with that. Here we go again. 220. Pick North walks away with Watts as your champ. Another name that we've been talking about all year long at 132 pounds. Williams from Gahanna Lincoln.
Good for him. I like that guy. I like that guy.
He's a phenomenal young man all the way around the board, and he is a how do I say this? A competitor. He is fierce. That's the word I want to look at. Sean, I saved one for the last one here. I got 2 champs. I got 2 champs. I know. And I want to talk about both these weight classes.
Yeah, tell me about some weights that you saw there that really caught your eye.
They did. 113 pounds. Capper has looked good. Matter of fact, I was informed by an ITC informant that he had not lost until since the semifinal of the Kevin Cleveland Memorial.
Who?
Capper.
Really?
He hadn't lost. They went to the Western Brown Hammer and Anvil. They did their own Mason Boyd tournament. They had duels all through there, state duels. They had all this going on, and he still hadn't lost. I mean, the kid was rolling high on momentum. So, in walks Liam Plants, who I have talked about bottling that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 move deep and using it at the Derby tournament. You knew it was going to be a clash, and it was a clash. I thought it was a great match. I bet both coaches walked away saying we needed to do more, but I'm telling you, Plants walks away the 2-1 winner and really helped him out.
Did Plants and Capper, were they both at the Licking County League tournament?
They would have been.
And Plants just got upset in the quarterfinals, and then
yes, that's how it went down.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
That is how it went down. So it was nice to hear. Yeah,
you got to redeem yourself there. Yes. But you talked about 2 weights. You only gave me 1. What's the other one we're looking at here, Mark?
182 pounds. Another Licking Heights kid. Cody Wilson, been doing great all year. And, you know, I get an email last week from Tom Jones, Whetstone coach.
The singer?
Oh, no, yeah. Okay. Whetstone wrestling coach. Could be one of the same. I've never seen the 2 in the same at the same room.
Him and Batman and Adam West, I've never seen them in the same room together.
So you've got 182 pounds, Abdul Aram. I know, it's tough, man. A lot going on there. But, man, I'm telling you what, this was a great match. This was a battle. And even though it went into overtime, it went to sudden victory, and then it went into tiebreaker 1 and 2. And tiebreaker 2, it ended up, I think, Wilson tried to hit something. Abdul Raham Rahman did the exact thing that he was supposed to do and was able to get 2 back points along with the 2 takedown.
You know what's impressive to me? He had that big win over George in the semifinals.
Yes.
And we see upsets all the time.
Yeah.
But when you carry that to the next match and get another big upset,
Yes.
that is something there when you're able to string big matches together. Upsets happen all the time, but you really don't see them in strings. This guy has really come along well. And to beat 2 people that me and you thought could be fighting for spots at Derby podium and maybe the state going to the state tournament, that's a big win for him.
Huge. And you mention it all the time. On this side of the bracket, can he string 3 together? Can he string 2 or 3 together?
You know what I think the key in that match was? Late in the game, he was up by 1, but if he got out, he'd be up by 2.
That's exactly right. That is a true statement.
I truly think that was the key of the game.
That is, man, now that you say that, that's true. That's right. Sean, that's it. That's my Watkins Memorial. Let me think if there's anything. Yes, there is one more thing.
Okay.
So when you run a tournament, you have a 45-minute break.
Got you.
The head table was working behind the scenes. They went to 2 mats going on. They went to 1 mat. They went to 3 mats. They made it all work. There was minimal as best they could. Quite possibly, listening to them talk might be the most knowledgeable head table that I've been around. They were able to pick things up left and right.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Go ahead.
I was at the head table at Marysville, so that's probably not a true statement what you just said.
Today, I'm talking about the people running the tournament.
You think I'm just there pretty face?
I know you're not that, Sean. Hey, speaking of Marysville sectional.
Speaking of Marysville section, I was going to go out to Newark this year, but we had a late change. Sometimes life gets in the way, and I ended up at the Marysville sectional. And those guys did a great job. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Marysville sectional. I'm sure at this point, the way we all move around picking up sectionals, everyone has been there. But Morgan Cotter does a great job. I don't know if you ever met him. Does an absolutely fabulous job running a sectional. You talk about the head table at Watkins, how they're just picking things up. Morgan was talking to people like, hey, what do you think about this? I mean, that's great when you bounce ideas off people, pick people's brains, and really you run efficient anything in life when you do that. Maria Grimes was typing all that stuff in Bum's face.
Yes.
Once she got the sheet, she immediately typed it in. So you got live, up-to-date results as they happen.
Well, hey, if there's one thing I know, brackets and results. We love those.
So they were very efficient. Terry Hurd
did
a great job in the hospitality room, along as Amber O'Neill. I mean, these ladies were on top of it.
That's a new one.
I was telling Mark as we were breaking bread with family before we started filming how they had Culver's ice cream and these cookies, and I'm just sitting there like, there's like wrestling going like,
not right now. There's not.
Right now there's not.
So, wait till next week, boy.
We'll get to that.
Yes, we will.
But thank you, Marysville, again. Every time you guys have us out there, we appreciate that. You always run top-notch, classy, anything, and I do appreciate that. Coach Andrews and that whole staff. But there was wrestling going on there. We did. When we get in the hospitality room and you get food, you just go oblivious to everything else. Everything that's going on. But it was a great day of wrestling all the way around. Old Tangent Liberty did come out as your champion there. With how many points did they have, Mark?
261?
261.
If I got that right.
They had 4 champions. They had Ford, Giuliano, Russo, and Brownlee.
Yes.
I'm sure his mom took a million pictures that day. She loves doing that.
That's it.
At second, we had Marysville. These guys, we talked about them earlier in the year. I think they were like 3-10 at one point. Zoom meets or something crazy like that. And everybody kept telling me behind the scenes, hey, man, I know Coach Andrews. He really does a good job. Like, trust me, he'll have these guys coming. And they really look great. They had 3 champions, got second with 241 points, have 11 district qualifiers to go with that.
Dang.
The 3 champions were Milms, Will, and Hurd.
I was about to say, I got to think Hurd's one of them,
And then third came in Delaware with 219 points. Somewhere around
229.
229 points. They have 8 district qualifiers. They have some champions. How many champions they have?
I bet they did. I bet they had 4.
Thinking they're going 4?
Maybe had 3, but I think 4.
No, what do you think?
Kane, May, Sue Tandar, and then Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg. Look at Nate Dogg pulling it out there, man.
Well, you got to really wonder if that was 2, though.
Finally, somebody agrees with me.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Finally, someone agrees with me. But you talk about some other weights there. Mark talked about 220. 220 was a crazy weight there.
Class, bro.
By far was the toughest sectional of any 220 in the state. I'm going to go state here. You had top level kids there. You had Tom coming in. You had Thompson. And you had Nate Dogg.
Yep.
And the kid from Palmer from Marysville's not bad.
No.
So Nate Dogg had this semifinal crazy match with Thompson. Went to overtime. Really was a great wrestling by all of them. Nate did get the takedown there to win in overtime. And again, it goes back to what me and Mark talked about at 82 at Watkins Memorial. You just pulled out a top win against a highly ranked kid. Can you pull that trick out 2 hours later? Sure enough, he did. Comes out, gets in a funk situation, just launches Tom, pins him in like 27 seconds in the match. So a great job for Nate Dogg Robinson there, man.
Chain wrestling of the third dimension.
There you go.
Yes.
Man. So another way to look out there was 106. 106. we got the Havens. We got the
Javier.
I mean, Javier truly, if anyone had the tournament of his life. I mean, he got first, second, third, and fourth in every way. I mean, every way, dude. This dude was on fire, man. The only thing would have been funnier is if they'd had the results, but dude, it was like Bugs Bunny first base, Bugs Bunny second base.
Gas House Gorillas coming at you. Oh, that's good. That's good.
But that was a great match by him. At 160, we had Vince versus Kane for the 14th time. They came down to the. I think
Kane wins this time.
Kane did. I thought he did a great job there. I think that's one of the best I've ever seen him wrestle.
Man, 160 shaping up
But
really
160
nice.
is looking crazy without giving too much out. But a great day of wrestling all the way around. I was proud to be part of that sectional tournament. I truly love going to things like that. But just a great day of wrestling all the way around. I hope you guys all enjoyed it wherever you're at as much as me and Mark did.
Yes. Sean, does that end our Division 3, Division 2, Division 1
roundup? Yes, it does.
So next comes, we do the John Brown Wrestler of the Year Award.
John Brown Wrestler of the Year Award.
Folks, geez, it might have been 3 years ago now. Yeah, it would have been 3 years ago.
At least.
2 cartels and a fry.
There you go.
So 4 years ago, technically.
So is that like a Happy Meal?
Yeah,
2
almost.
cartels and a fry?
Yeah, exactly.
4th year of giving out the John Brown
Yes,
Memorial
and
Award.
For those of you who do not know, John Brown was an amazing individual, a phenomenal teacher, and just an incredible wrestling coach. Every year we talked about it. I talked to Brian Nicola about it one time. He always had solid kids. I worked with a young man who was on his team, spoke so highly of him. Coach Heff mentioned, Coach Heffernan for Berlin, talked about how we were enemies across the mat. But there was never a time that if you said, man, I just can't figure something out. Well, let's talk about it. But we're mortal enemies. We're sworn enemies. Doesn't matter, man. You got to figure this out. So I love that about John Brown. Just an amazing individual. And we decided we were going to name this award. He lost his life tragically over the Christmas break there.
Going to see his family.
Yep, going to see his family.
Going back to see his family.
So, and a family man, that's what he does. And so, John Brown Wrestler of the Year. Now, before we get too far into this, I think I counted 6 or 7 names that were in our hat, that were on the table. We were listing accomplishments. 1, 2, 3.
Right. I think we narrowed it down to the top 3. So
we did.
We did have 3 semifinalists that we considered. We had Connor Uten, who's had a fabulous year, still undefeated from Westville North. We had Seth Shoemate from Dublin Kaufman. Again, a guy who's undefeated, having a phenomenal season. And a D2 representative, Cole Potts. A guy me and Mark have talked about all year that's having a great season as well. Came down to the final 3. But in the end, with the votes, and we came in together. Go ahead and now to our 2020.
Thank you. I forgot. 2020 John Brown Wrestler of the Year from Dublin Kaufman, Seth Shoemate. Absolutely fantastic young man. Does it on and off the mat. Does a great job all the way around. And he's your guy. We'll get you your award.
We'll get your award next week is what the plan is. But Mark talked about, they're just a great guy. When we give this award away, it's not always to the guy who has the most pins or the fastest pin or who has the best record, where the best kid is. It's more than that. We talk to the coaching staff. We talk to school administrators. We talk to a lot of different people to get a feel of the person that we think this award is more, because Mark talked about how great of a person John Brown was when he was coaching on the mat, but the great person he was off the mat as well. And we think whoever gets the award should somehow represent that same thing of not only a great athlete, but just a good person as well. And I think this year's recipient definitely fits the bill of
most certainly
just a great person all the way around, on and off the mat.
That's awesome. Seth Shoemate, great job. Great season all year long. And I've enjoyed, I know he has, I've enjoyed watching you wrestle, and so it's great. Sean, that's the Wrestler of the Year, our sectionals. Next up,
next step, we're starting to get that way.
We
As
are.
most of you know, we're getting ready. You can see the board right now for the whiteboard predictions. And when me and Mark do the whiteboard predictions, we really have a couple of things in mind here. One is to introduce you guys to all the participants that are going to be at Derby this week. If
Yeah.
you've ever watched the show, or if this is the first time of watching or the whiteboards, we always announce every single kid that's name is scheduled to step on the mat. Sometimes
Yes.
the kids get off because of sickness or don't make weight. We get
Yeah.
alternates in. But if you have actually made the district tournament, you will hear your name called on the whiteboard predictions. We love to do that. Again,
Yes.
is you're going to be there for 20 hours or so. What we see the weight is the district is a book, and every weight class is a chapter in that book. So what we're going to do for you is identify some of the major guys that are going to play a major role in this, sprinkle in some upsets, and just try to create general interest for you while you're sitting in that gym. Maybe this kid has a great story. Maybe this kid came in red hot and just didn't pan out. Maybe this kid no one thought he was going to do anything, and now look at him on the cusp of doing something great. Some of these kids are nationally ranked people. We want to recognize them and let you know, hey, on mat 3 here, match 14 or 122 is a solid kid and an incredible match. 2 great kids. Hey,
Yes.
take a look at this match. So that's what we do, and there's just great people all around Central Ohio Wrestling. We don't always focus on the ones on it as we do the ones off of it. Did you know that Kevin Moody, I'm still trying to get you back to the Derby District, is the second winningest coach in Ohio history in softball?
I did not know
In
that.
history, 613 is the second most in girls high school softball.
I didn't even know he coached softball.
Now, you know what the fucking thing is? When I talk to people, they're like, hey, I didn't know the softball guy refs wrestling. So it's crazy. This guy's been there since 1983.
Dang.
Were you even born in 1983?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
I'm old, dude. I'm old.
So anyways, it's great. They were actually state champions in 2000.
Wow.
School, so that's
no
great.
clue.
Again, they're just so many phenomenal people.
That's
Anybody-
great.
anybody-
Oh, yes. I was actually thinking, now that you say this, now that you bring this up, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm racking my brain over here. Well, first off, how did I not know this about Kevin Moody? And now I'm thinking, how can I stump Sean with something that he doesn't know? Well, I know, exactly.
That's not going to happen.
Well, I will tell you this. You mentioned a ref. I'm going to mention a ref. Not too long ago, I had a conversation with a young man, Steve Farmer. I think you wrestled him, as a matter of fact.
I'm glad you called him a young man. And we wrestled.
Yes. Steve Farmer actually hiked, which if you don't hike, you don't know anything about this.
No.
But he hiked, I'm telling you, he hiked the John Muir Trail, which is roughly 225 miles, but you have to do it in a certain amount of time. And when you leave, if you don't get to this side, they can't come get you. You're so high in elevation, they cannot come get you. It actually ends on the highest peak in, I want to say North America, but I think it just might be the United States. 14,500 feet. Ooh. Pikes Peak I climbed was 14,114 feet. This is another 400 feet up, which this is the craziest thing. When you get to that elevation, at some point you have to say, hold on, I got to stop, man. But you're not really not at that height, no. But I wasn't sore the next day when I climbed Pikes Peak. I wasn't crazy sore, but it was tough. And you had to stop because you just didn't have oxygen. So I can't imagine going. And you actually, with every step that goes up, you tally 46,000 steps up.
46,000 steps?
Yes.
Going up?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, you go up and down, but anytime you go up, if you counted that, that's a lot of steps.
How many miles did you walk?
Roughly 225. And you have to do it in 3 weeks.
Is it uphill both ways?
In the snow. And in this case, they did have snow. In July, they had snow.
Oh.
I don't even know why this is coming to me, but Sean, these are the types of people that you just, you're yelling at from the stands. That was 2. The dude has a life. He has it. He's a person.
That is something you talked
Yes.
about, Mark. One thing that we're talking about this is the sportsmanship last year at Derby was bad. I mean, I'm just going to flat out say it. I think we could have done a better job.
As a community.
Okay. I was just embarrassed to be part of that. Schools from multiple areas, I think just, when Mark said it, when you're yelling at a ref or yelling at somebody's kid, that is somebody's husband. That's somebody's kid. I mean, I just think we need to appreciate what these people are doing or what competing out there for our entertainment as opposed to being negative all the time. I mean, let's try to focus on the positives. Please, for me, let's focus on the positives for what it is at the Derby District. It's still amateur high school wrestling. We're all trying to do the best we can and just try to be
we've gone full-fledged PSA at this point. Public servant announcement, and while we're on this, we're about to embark on the whiteboard predictions. If there is one thing I could say, it's I don't hate your kid. I actually love your kid. I enjoy. Prove us wrong. Dude,
we love, trust me, if there's two people that love the prove us wrong theory more, it is us. But
I think the biggest thing is, in the sport of wrestling, see how you have 2 names? Only one can win. So what we're doing is we're telling a story, and then we're moving out. We're telling these
story. Just telling a story.
That's all we're doing. So we don't dislike your kid. If we pick your kid to go 0-2, if we pick your kid to lose in the finals, it's not because we hate them. It's just the way the sport is. And ultimately, we realized when we put names on the board, one family is going to write us as they're on our Christmas list. The other 15 are going to say, nope, ain't happening. So all I want you to know is we love your kid. We're for your kid. And if anything, prove us wrong. By golly, we did this one of the first years, and the young man from Logan, it was 189 back then, he made the state tournament, walked right up to me, and he was a little taller than me, looked down at me, and he said, you can stick your predictions where the sun don't shine. And I thought to myself, yes, I can. Congratulations, state qualifier. And that was it. And I mean, honestly, I'm not being dishonest when I say we're the happiest when we're wrong in those cases.
We are happy a lot.
So I am a happy guy.
I mean, a couple other things we're going to do this year. We're going to change little things up. You may notice some, you may not notice, but I think we're going to, talk about some of the great communities of the area.
Yes, most certainly. Give me one example of great communities.
Well, I think there's a lot of communities out there that maybe aren't the most, ranked in the top 10, but still have great community support where people do a lot that we're just going to recognize a little bit on the whiteboard this year that maybe we haven't done in the past. We're going to add a couple nuances and when we get to them in the shows, some of the projections, we'll talk about them, but some you'll have to be quick enough to pick up.
I like it. So, Sean, you're talking like you're going to have a big old blinking sign up here.
Maybe.
Eat at Joe's. Maybe wear a t-shirt.
Maybe.
Okay.
T-shirt.
A t-shirt.
Oh, so you're going to say, why do we have that blinking sign out? And
Yes.
tell them why?
That's right.
Well, there'll just be little things they'll have to pick up and notice.
I love it, Sean.
You mentioned the shirt here. I see
Yes.
that sometimes you wear shirts. Do we wear shirts sometimes that have a meaning for the weight class?
I don't know about the weight class, but I'll tell you this right now. This right here definitely has a meaning. And it's you have to put your toe on the line, and you have to be the captain of your... What's that say?
Oh, what does that
the
say?
master of your fate, the captain of your soul. You got to do that. We might put you here on this line, but you
decide.
That's right.
You decide who goes
That's
on
right.
that line.
Oh,
Not two clowns.
Not two clowns on the YouTube channel, that's for sure.
But again, there will be some changes that you guys will notice. Hopefully you'll like them as much as we are. We're always up to suggestions. Some lady gave me a great suggestion. Again, I was telling Mark that when we ate as a family before it started. Some lady gave me a great idea. When we get to that, I'll talk about it.
Can't wait.
And we're all good.
Is that it?
That's it.
And now you are inside the circle.